Hello everyone, this is Gemini Jess 1975 coming at you with a Airways magazine review of the July 1999 issue. Before I get started, I begin on a sad note. Our prayers go out to Brussels in case you have not heard, the terrorist attacks that took place there this morning at Brussels International Airport, as well as a Brussels train station. So definitely keep their families in your thoughts and prayers. So let's get started with the review. Delta MD88 fan, if you are watching this review is for you. This is your favorite airline, so definitely you will enjoy this video. So we have the usual beginning, guys. There will be a trivia question at the end. Got Airways Global Review of Commercial Flight, July 1999, America's Best Little Airline, Midwest Express. And then you got an article on Crossair, the Museum of Flight, and the Comet Restoration project in Seattle. This is probably the best issue that I've done so far, so this is probably going to be a little bit of a longer video. US 495, Canada 695, and UK 325. Okay, so table of contents. And here's some pictures. Let's see here. Mailbag, Continental DC-10. Okay. Here's a guy that wrote to the editor. He was mad because American quit publishing timetables. They were one of the first U.S. airlines to do that. And he was mad. Then they briefly brought him back right before 9/11. Okay. Alright, here's a very interesting picture, guys. This was the very first Delta 777-200 in the, as some people call it, the interim livery, or the Ron Allen livery. This was the first new livery that Delta had in 35 years when they unveiled it, which is about the time American had the one before they have now. And let's see, we've got KLM Alps, Navair. There's some interesting pictures here. There is some information in the caption on this picture that I'll probably have in a future trivia question. Okay, I believe... Oh, Air Rage. Air Rage was kind of getting going back in this day. And talk about the flying Clippers and the day when aviation was, you know, or flying was a huge deal and only the rich flew and stuff like that. Angel Air, let's see, there was something... Oh, right here. This right here is a picture of the 1000th A320 family aircraft, which was delivered on April 15th of 1999. Interestingly, Air France also took the first A320 in 1988. And then the 1001st A320 was going Toulouse assembled, that is. Actually they were the only plant I think that made them at the time, and the 1001st rather went to United. All three old livery tails: TAM, United, US Airways. So, and it was actually projected at this time that the 2000th A320 aircraft would be delivered in 2003. I don't believe that happened. Could be wrong. If someone knows, let me know. Oh wait, here's something interesting. The Tupolev, what is it called? The Tupolev Tu-334. Interesting here. Okay, here's the article on Midwest Express. This was an awesome little airline, headquartered in Milwaukee. Let's see here. Annual numbers for the airline. There was, let's see, seats per available, cost per seat for available seat mile, 11.8, but they made 19.2. So they've had really, really nice profits. 65% load factor. If an airline had 65% load factor now, they would probably, let's just say they wouldn't be doing as well as they are. Most of the U.S. airlines now have load factors in the 90s, so if that gives you an indication of how things have changed. 65 to 70 was considered break even at one point. And let's see here. Here's the route map. Love route maps, as some of you may know. They tried flying to San Antonio twice. This was the first time out of Kansas City, and neither time it worked very well. Here was their fleet. DC-910, DC-930, MD-81, and MD-88. And here is a picture, actually, here's a picture of the much loved chocolate chip cookies in flight, baked in flight. And then here is a picture of a typical meal. Hard to find this in an airline these days, but very nice. And a couple flight attendants, and then 2 passengers eating their meal. Very interesting. Okay. But yes, Midwest Express was a very well-loved airline. Then the next article on Crossair, kind of a neat little commuter airline in Europe. They operated, let's see, the Saab 2000, the Saab 340. Let's see, the Fairchild Metro right here. And then this one right here, this was a Fokker 50. This airline was also, or is well known for its service. Right here is the Avro RJ100. They operated the Avro RJ85, which Northwest Airlink also operated. There's the Saab 2000 and the 340. And then they also had MD-82s and 83s, and this one was in a special McDonald's livery. I believe that this plane has recently been restored or something to that effect. So, and let's see, this right here is a Saab 340, of course. And here's a couple special liveries. And the 25th anniversary, the Phantom of the Opera. Here's a couple route maps. And let's see here. Okay, here's an article about when the airliner married the train. Basically, in 1929, there was an airline railroad alliance that created, basically you could fly coast to coast in 48 hours. Actually, you would take the train and fly coast to coast. And it went, let's see if I can zoom in here. Maybe, maybe not. Depends on what this thing wants to do. New York and DC all the way to Los Angeles and San Francisco. Alright. Let's see, this was on a Ford 5AT delivered to TAT, Transcontinental Air Transport. one of the first airlines in the U.S. I believe Transcontinental Air Transport was a forerunner to TWA. I would have to look that up to be sure, but here's a map that only goes from Los Angeles to Columbus, Ohio, though. But yeah, 48 hours. Could you imagine? Here's one of the train routes right here. You fly into Waynoka, Oklahoma, and then take the train to Clovis, New Mexico, which was a huge train hub, and then continue on from there. Very interesting. Okay. And then the Museum of Flight. Okay, I will be going here in May. Super excited. If anyone has any tips, things like that, let me know in the comments. I would be very interested. Okay, there's a little bit of the inside. This right here is a Boeing, actually this is a Boeing 80A. This right here, oh good grief, I don't think it shows. Anyway. Oh, yeah, that's probably the 80A. Yep, that's it. I'm sorry. That's the Boeing 80A. Then the Boeing 247, United flew that. And here it is again. Then the DC-2, Douglas Commercial 2, what DC stood for, right there. So it was Douglas Commercial DC series. And of course MD, McDonnell Douglas, but probably knew that. Alaska, here is the Museum of Flight's control tower. Oh, that was proposed back then. And then the proposed second gallery. Let me know if that's been built, by the way, guys. Okay, here is the United 727, very cool. There's a 737, this one's showing NASA, but let's see. The museum's second, where is it right here? 737 is exhibited in the Great Gallery. Model 201, new to Piedmont in 1969 as Tar Heel pacemaker. When Piedmont was acquired by US Air, it was re-registered. With 88,000 hours, it was retired in 1995 and donated to the museum. Oh, that's cool. Okay. The Boeing 747, of course, and the VC-137. I believe the 707. What is it? The 707. Air Force One was retired either by George H.W. Bush or Ronald Reagan. Could be totally wrong on that. But I thought that they didn't start using the 747 until either Reagan or Bush. It's been too long, guys, even for me. Okay, here is Comet Restoration, the BOAC Comet. British Overseas Airways Corporation. Let's see here. So the Comet went into service in 1952, 4 years before the Soviet-built Tupolev Tu-104, and 6 years ahead of the 707, but the 707 proved successful because the Comet had a few problems. This one right here is supposed to be the aircraft that it was to be restored. At the time, Mexicana was owned by Pan Am because Pan Am practically owned the world, aviation-wise. It was a subsidiary, Latin American subsidiary, and one trip was noted for saying, supposedly, that if, what was it? Had the 707 not performed as expected, that he would have transferred all of Mexicana's comets to Pan Am. As we know what actually happened. And then the Golden Aztec. This was called the Golden Aztec livery. Right here. And here's some pictures during the restoration. Very cool. That is basically the final article, but there is one thing I do want to show you guys. Right here, since this is a 1999 issue, July of 1999, there is a very interesting article in here. And I'm coming to it. Here we go. Introducing Gemini jets. You've waited. They've arrived. They're awesome. ADI is proud to introduce Gemini jets, the ultimate in 1/400 scale die-cast metal airliners. And right here it says, for the serious collector, we have added airport ground support equipment and aircraft air bridges, so you can create your own diorama. You will also appreciate the attractive and functional packaging that allows you to view the model while it's still in the box. Wow. Sorry guys. My sarcastic nature has come out. Here is this is the old ground support equipment. As you know, that is not what it looks like now. And if you do find one of these sets, consider yourself very lucky. They are very hard to find. Also, they're usually expensive. And visit the website GeminiJets.com. What is that? Airliner at vegasnet.net. That's interesting. And then at the airplane shop, their big 2-page fold here, it has the first mention, or one of the first mentions of Gemini jets. Limited edition. So some of the very first... I know some of you have this Air China model. This is one of the very first models. And here is the proof in the pudding right here. Got Virgin Atlantic Old, Virgin Atlantic New, United, and they're all 747s by the way. The Northwest World plane. And please guys, look at the price of the airplanes at that time. We're talking 17 years ago now, and they were only $24.95. You can't even get a CRJ 700 for $24.95 now. Let's all cry or throw up, one or the other, or both. Alright, airplane shop in, I believe this is the one in a new store location in New York's JFK. Did they actually build that? Does anyone know? Does anyone know if they built the one in JFK? While in New Jersey, visit our retail showroom. So this was the one in New Jersey. Alright guys. Anyway, that pretty much does it for this issue of Airways magazine. Please let me know guys. I'm considering not doing these weekly anymore. Let me know if you want me to continue that or change. So comment below. Also for the trivia question, after almost 20 minutes of blabbering, what airline had the advertising slogan, something special in the air? Again, what airline had the advertising slogan, something special in the air? Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching as always. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. And, coming in on 20 minutes, guys. Thank you very much, and you'll have a great day.